This weekend, Alex Poatan Pereira is taking on Magomed Ankalaev in a rematch from their first fight at UFC 313. I have watched the fight back, and round one, Pereira was doing very well, keeping his distance, using his kicks, used quite a few kicks, a lot of kicks, and Ankalaev was struggling to get close. Bear in mind, it's the first round, he's trying to find his range, fair enough, but nonetheless, Ankalaev goes for a takedown, end of the round, Poatan stuffs it. Round two, Pereira, he wasn't doing as great this round. He wasn't throwing as many kicks. Ankalaev, he did the opposite. He did what he was supposed to do. He upped the pressure, going towards Pereira. Using his boxing, was outboxing Alex Pereira, using the straight punches. Since Pereira has his hands kind of wide, that does open a gap for straight punches, which Ankalaev was using very effectively. You know, at some certain points in the fight, he was stepping on the outside, using that left straight down the pipe, just as he should be doing. And Pereira, he was hesitating a little bit. Ankalaev was doing very well, circling that lead hand, moving it around, dipping down, faking the takedown, and that made Pereira hesitate. It was very good from Ankalaev. Round three, Ankalaev was moving Pereira back. Pereira, he just wasn't throwing. He wasn't throwing enough and was just moving backwards. He wasn't going towards Ankalaev. But it was a good round for Pereira nonetheless. Round four, this was the big clinch round. 3 to 4 minutes of it was just pure clinching. It was a very boring round, but, nonetheless, Ankalaev, he did what he had to do to win, and you can't argue with that. You can say it was boring, because it was. You can say whatever you want about it, but you can't say it wasn't smart from Ankalaev. He was just going to put all his weight towards Pereira and tire Pereira out with the wrestling against the cage. Round 5, I thought Pereira got sucked into the boxing a little bit. He wasn't using his kicks as much, and I thought, why not? Maybe because he was more tired. But, Ankalaev again resorted back to the clinch in round 5. Ankalaev ends up winning the fight. Great work from Ankalaev. Now, bear in mind, Pereira threw 48 leg kicks during this fight. He landed 48 leg kicks in this fight. That is mad. 48 leg kicks. But he ate Jan Blachowicz, little bro. You ate Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz destroyed the legs of Ankalaev, forcing him to wrestle. Pereira, even though he landed 48, this is according to the UFC stats, throughout the fight, Ankalaev, he resorted to his wrestling, but, his leg wasn't that compromised compared to what happened to him with Blachowicz. Because Blachowicz, as we all know, goes shin to shin, boom, boom, boom. Those leg kicks are built different. Let's got those Polish leg kicks. Now, you do have to bear in mind that Pereira, I don't think, was taking that fight too seriously. He was not taking it as seriously as he should have. Now, I'm not using that as an excuse. That's on Pereira. Ankalaev, he was locked in, training hard. But still, just pointing it out. Plus, he was at a Drake concert. Instead of preparing for the fight, while Ankalaev was out here putting in work into this fight. He's training very, very hard for this. That's on Pereira. Something to consider going into this rematch as well is that Pereira is heavy. He's been putting on some mass. Well, as of July 18th, he, according to Best MMA Moments, he was 247 pounds. That is a lot of weight. So, I think Pereira is planning on going to a move to heavyweight. I think he wants to go for that 3-weight status that's never been done before. I think he wants to go for it soon after this rematch. I think whether he wins or whether he loses, I think he wants to move up eventually. I think he's preparing for a move up, and I think he will move up. And he will challenge either Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane. Whoever the champion is, probably Tom Aspinall. But I think Pereira's praying that it's Cyril Gane. Anyway, that's besides the point. We're not talking about that. We're here to talk about Big Ank. Honestly speaking, I think Pereira might win this. And in the first fight, I predicted Big Ank to win, and he did. This time, I'm going with Poatan. I'm going with big man Pereira to get it done. I just think that he's going to have a better game plan this time. I don't know why. I think that's all it comes down to. I think it comes down to Alex Pereira having a better game plan, sticking to his kicks more, because that's what was working for him in the first fight, sticking with his kicks. Also, this is another 25-minute period for him to land that also devastating left hook. A clean, powerful, strong left hook. He landed, I think I heard the commentator say he landed a couple in the midst of the fight, but he didn't land a full on big wind up, boom, Chama left hook, if you know what I'm saying. No. These are just itty bitty little shots. I think Pereira, he might clip Ankalaev because remember, this is an extra 25-minute chance he has of whacking Ankalaev with that left hand of stone, that Powhatan he's got in his left hand. But I think he's got to press forwards. He knows now that he can stuff the takedowns. He understands he can stuff the takedowns. Bear in mind, though, we do not know what Pereira is like on the ground against someone as skilled as Ankalaev. Remember, Ankalaev was able to hold down Jan Blachowicz. We'll have to wait and see if Pereira is able to survive or get up off the ground from Ankalaev. I think he'll be able to. I think he's just got that Chama magic. He shouldn't be able to get up against Ankalaev, but I think he will. Something is just telling me, and I think he will. I think Pereira is going to get it done. As far as Ankalaev goes, the way he gets this done is through his wrestling, and he needs to clinch, and he needs to box. He needs to turn this into a boxing match, because he was doing a lot better with his hands than Powhatan was, because Powhatan was hesitated, because Ankalaev was threatening the takedown, was doing very good. Clinching against the cage, it's a boring style of fighting. It is. It just is boring. It's not fun to watch. There's not a lot of big movements, not a lot of big action. There's no spinning wheel kicks. There's no big left hooks putting people out cold. It's very, tight and close and technical. That's not what the people want to see, but it's what gets the job done. And I think that is what Ankalaev needs to do in order to keep his belt. But with all that being said, I can't go against Pereira in this one. I think Alex Pereira is going to beat Ankalaev, and I think he's going to win by decision. All 5 rounds will be fought. That is my official prediction. Let me know yours. I'll see you in the next one.